we're resuming recording. Nancy, over to you.
Thank you, Andrew. So hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar to understand the value of a UK master's degree. I am Nancy from University Foundation College in Qatar. UFC was established in 2017 to deliver the International Foundation Program designed by the NCUK and recognized worldwide. So when we noticed that Qataris and residents have a good interest in the UK postgraduate programs, UFC decided to offer the NCUK Premasters program, also known as the Master's Preparatory Program. This program improves the qualifications of those interested in a UK postgraduate degree, mainly the research skills and English qualifications. So during this webinar, you will know more about the NCUK, the Premasters program, NCUK Universities, scholarships, and the most important is the value of a UK master's degree. So allow me to introduce the speakers. Mr. Andrew Strogan, the Associate Director for Africa, Middle East, Europe, and the Americas, and Mr. Nick Decourt, the NCUK Academic Development Manager. This webinar is recorded. It will be available on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook accounts of University Foundation College. We would love to hear from you. So those who are attending, if they have any questions, by the end of the presentation, we will have a short Q&A session, and you can ask your questions in English or Arabic. I will translate the questions and answers if need be. For those who will be watching this presentation later on social media, they can just leave a question in the comment or write a direct message and we will get back to them. I will leave it now to you, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Nancy, and thanks very much for joining us today. Yeah, we want this to be as interactive and useful as possible. So if you're watching either through Facebook, Instagram, or you're joining us through the Zoom link, as Nancy said, please don't hesitate or be shy, ask questions, and hopefully we should inspire some great ideas and opportunities for you today. So we're going to cover several key points today and key themes. I will provide a very quick overview in terms of what NCUK is, how we work, and sort of highlight some of the history of success that we've had, not only in Qatar, but across our whole global network. I'll then, of course, talk about the NCUK qualification that we are running with UFC from September, and hopefully this will sort of give you a good idea as to what the main benefits are and how they could apply to your own situation. I'll then, of course, take some time to talk about the NCUK Universities, which are effectively the place that you will be looking to then go on and study after completing the NCUK qualification. I will then talk very briefly about scholarships and some of the NCUK prize awards that are available to you as NCUK students. And then I will hand over to my colleague, Nico Decourt, who will be talking about the value of a UK degree, as well as the many working opportunities that all international students have in the UK and beyond. And Nico will also be sharing some of his experience of when he did work within the higher education industry as well. So hopefully a nice topic to finish on there. So in terms of NCUK, who we are and what we do, we offer a range of undergraduate and postgraduate degree pathway qualifications. So with UFC, University Foundation College, we've had long established an international foundation year program, which is predominantly designed really to help progress from secondary school through to the first year of a university degree. And that has been something that has been very successful and very useful over the past 4 or 5 years. And actually this year, it does represent our biggest sort of success we've had working with UFC, where we had well over 100 students studying on the NCUK qualifications, many of whom have now progressed and are studying on their degree program. But we're not here to talk about undergraduate. We're here to focus mainly on the postgraduate opportunities that are available to students after studying the PMP. So we've in total now work in over 30 countries across the world, Qatar, of course, being one of them. And this has meant that we've got really significant and huge amount of experience when it comes to providing great qualifications for international students. Just like you, we've sort of had now over 35,000 students progressing through our qualifications and onto their dream university. So I guess the main message to get from this is that this is very much a tried and tested formula, and something that we think will work very well for Qatari students as well. I'm just going to play a very short video. Sorry about
Andrew, I feel the video is not audible.
You don't have sound?
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 second there. Apologies about that. I'll start that again. So hopefully that really does sort of give you a flavour as to what we do. What the whole point of us is in an organisation is to really help international students get to their dream university, be at undergraduate level or postgraduate level. So some very top sort of headline stats to give you. As I mentioned, we've got a long history of success with tens of thousands of students progressing through our qualifications, and an increasing number are coming from our Middle East and Gulf region, which is fantastic to see and something that I'm very pleased to be working towards. And alongside that, we also recruit from over 100 nationalities. So again, by becoming part of the NCUK network, you are really sort of getting great exposure and great access to what could potentially become a future international network for you as a graduate as well. 90% of NCUK students get into their first choice university. Again, I think this really does demonstrate how much our universities themselves actually value the NCUK qualifications. And most importantly, our qualifications really do help students succeed once they go to university, and particularly at undergraduate level. One of the key statistics is that 80% of our students go on to get either a first or a second class degree, which are the two highest degree classifications within the UK education system. So again, I think this really demonstrates how well prepared our students are to succeed once they're at university. So what is the Premasters program? So this really is sort of designed as a qualification to equip you with all of the necessary skills so that you can really hit the ground running once you begin your master's degree program here in the UK. It's worth mentioning, and I know Nico will cover this later, that the UK degree system at postgraduate level is intense. Unlike quite a lot of the other international destinations, usually a UK master's program is only 1 year in length. And that does mean that obviously you do have to hit the ground running. You don't have time to assimilate yourself. You don't have time to get used to how the UK universities present themselves and equally want you to present yourself through your academic work. You do have to hit the ground running, which is one of the key benefits, I guess, of doing the PMP program with UFC in Qatar, because they're giving you many of the skills that will allow you to do that. Now, those skills are really attained through a variety of different courses within the PMP. The research methods module of the PMP is a vital aspect of the program. This will give you all of the analytical skills, the evaluation skills, as well as looking at a variety of other issues around plagiarism and how to present your work during your academic study. And again, this will equip you with all of the skills that you need, again, to do very well once you start on your master's degree abroad. The other vital aspect, main vital aspect, I guess, of the PMP program is also the English for academic purposes module then. Now, as the name suggests, this will actually equip you with the English language skills and also, obviously expose yourself to what you would expect to be presenting yourself once you get to university as well. So the English for Academic Purposes module is test-based and will also give you the certificate that you need at the end of the PMP for visa purposes as well. So the research methodology as well as English for Academic Purposes sort of work hand in hand to equip you with all of the necessary skills, as well as giving you exposure to how, some of the vital aspects of a UK master's degree, like a dissertation, for example. It gives you all of the necessary skills to enable you to progress there. Also, another key sort of selling point and advantage of the program is the fact that all PMP students are sort of vetted before they start on the program, which means that NCUK, working alongside UFC, is able to give you guaranteed access to postgraduate degrees across the NCUK University network. And alongside this guarantee involves a great deal of support from our student support team, and they will work with you on your application, your personal statements, obviously submitting your application to each of the NCUK universities, and we will also talk you through the visa and accommodation process as well, should you need that. Some key facts about the program. So it's taught full-time or part-time, and again, the best sort of port of call for this to get more information would be to have a discussion with Nancy. I know we are looking at a variety of different delivery methods for this particular course. Some will be full-time, and this will be based on your English language level, but others will work and be based around your other academic study or perhaps even your job, where we could be looking to do something on part-time and weekends to fit that around your current ongoing career. So something to discuss with Nancy, where we can look at what potential intake could be the most relevant and most suitable for you. We do involve within the PMP, you will again have some great exposure to the lecture type environment, and this will really equip you with some of the skills and experience again that you would be expected to have once you start in the UK. You'll be learn a variety of different study skills. Again, this comes from exposure to tutorials, to working with colleagues, to working with other students, and this really culminates in making you a more well-rounded student, again, when it comes to starting on your master's program. The research methodology, vital aspect really. Obviously a big part of the UK master's degree is putting together a project proposal and attaining your specialism within that area. And again, you will get some practice when it comes to actually learning how to pull all of this together. And again, this will help you put together a more compelling argument once you start on your degree. And something which is sometimes overlooked by international students, again, is around Western culture and in terms of actually what it's like to be an international student in the UK. And again, the procedures and regulations that you will be expected to know when you enroll on a UK master's degree program. Again, Nico may cover that as part of his session. The English for Academic Purposes module is obviously a critical element of the PMP. Again, just to emphasize, this will give you the certificate that you need for visa purposes. So effectively can be used in place of IELTS, for example. So it's all included within the PMP program, and all of the support that you need for your application to a visa is done through UFC and NCUK's team. So the English for Academic Purposes, I don't want to spend too long on it, but it does look fairly similar to IELTS in many aspects, where it does actually sort of test you on a variety of different communication methods, from writing to reading, and of course listening to speaking as well. But this is implemented throughout the academic year, and there will be lots of opportunity to really hone your skills and your ability within EAP. Now, probably most importantly, these are our universities. So these are all of the universities that you can see that formally recognise the PMP programme. Now, there are some great universities listed here, many of which are in the UK itself. So there's a number which are ranked in the QS World Top 100, the likes of the University of Sheffield, the University of Manchester, University of Bristol. University of Birmingham. These are all very popular universities within the international setting, and all of which do formally recognise this qualification and who we can again support you with applications onto. The other thing to think about, we have some genuinely world-class universities in terms of overall rankings, but we also have a number of universities who rank very well within certain faculty areas. So the University of Bradford, Manchester Metropolitan University, for example, they both have triple star accreditation status within their business schools, which actually places their business faculty specifically within the top 1% of business schools globally. So it is worth thinking about. Yes, overall rankings are very important and are always something that students do consider, but there are also a number of other factors that you should take into account when making your choice. But again, there'll be good exposure to universities, which will help, again, sort of counsel and guide you as to what the best options are from the PMP. What you will also notice is there are a number of universities outside of the UK that also formally recognise the qualification. Majority of these are in New Zealand, but we do have a couple of universities also in Australia. Many of the universities that are listed are actually on the ministry list in terms of sponsorship, so it is worth considering if you maybe want to be a pioneer or go somewhere slightly less well-trodden path like it is from Qatar to the UK. NCUK and UFC also do have some other interesting routes which might be interesting for you. Now, one thing that I would really encourage you all to have a look at, you can find on NCUK's website, the University Course Finder. This actually lists each and every one of the degrees available across the NCUK universities that you can go on and study from the PMP. So all you need to do is change the actual qualifications tab to Premasters program. You can then filter it in terms of the university. So if you've already got a university in mind, brilliant, you can search that and it brings up all of the options available. Equally, if you don't know what degree you want to go on to and you don't know what university you want to study at, there is an ability just to bring up all of the options, which again can sort of guide you in terms of the research that you want to, that you will need to do to make your application. So please do check out our website and specifically the University Course Finder. Just to give you an example of sort of some of the diversity that is available across the UK higher education sector. These are some of the courses that some of our previous students have progressed onto. So you can see that there are options within international law, within biology, within engineering, of course within business, but also within the likes of supply chain management and film and media, both of which are sort of very relevant careers to be looking at. Certainly supply chain management. I mean, if COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's that there's certainly a huge industry when it comes to international delivery, as well as supply chains. So that could be something to think about. But there's also things within language and public health as well. But I really would, this is just a very small snapshot of the many, many options that are available. And for those of you interested in an MBA program, there are also lots of progression opportunities, both to the UK, but also doing online UK degrees as well. So that is something to think about if that is sort of the path you want to take. Now, just to sort of summarize the PMP. So the PMP is available across a variety of NCUK study centres, but of course, in this context, we are looking at teaching the PMP with our colleagues at UFC in Qatar. The PMP really does facilitate all of the application process to university through the NCUK exams that are included within the programme. All students are guaranteed an offer to progress to university, and again, we're able to do this because we will share with you what are your likely options even before you've studied on the PMP programme. So it's sort of very transparent and is a great way so that you're sort of constantly in the loop as to what your potential options are. Of course, you can get some great work and study experience by studying in the UK. Nico will cover that. And ultimately, you will graduate from universities with a full UK master's degree. So again, this is something which is highly marketable from a careers perspective. And again, will hopefully open up many, many doors for you in your future career. Just to very briefly cover the prize awards and scholarships available. As an NCUK student, whether you're on obviously our undergraduate programs, but also on our postgraduate programs, there are a lot of different scholarship opportunities available to you as students. In the image that you can see on the right, don't fret or worry, this image was taken in 2019 before the 2-meter rule was in place for COVID-19. And these are some of our previous award winners from across our study network. So NCUK really does like to support and recognize our student success. And it is also a great thing to have in terms of your CV and resume being part of that network. But equally, and probably even more attractively, the NCUK universities themselves have a wide range of scholarships available. Again, we have a full dedicated scholarship section on our website, which will detail each and every one of the scholarships available across each one of the universities. And again, you would probably need to consider that from a postgraduate perspective, obviously, if you were looking at it, studying a PG qualification abroad. Just to complete with a couple of quotes from our students before handing over to Nico. Again, the research methodology module really is a critical aspect of the NCUK qualification. It will give you all of the sort of skills and the confidence that you need to really put together a great proposal once you're on your degree program. And again, one of our former students from our Japanese partners is now studying at the University of Manchester. And again, this particular student is focusing more on the work experience element, which will bring us nicely into our next section with Nico. So Nico, I will hand over to you for now. And I think you're going to start with an understanding of UK degrees in general. So Nico, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Andy. Yes, so good afternoon or good evening for yourselves. So my name is Nico Decaux, and I used to be a lecturer, a principal lecturer at the UK University. I lectured in business and computing. I am now the academic development manager at NCUK, and my role is very much to actually ensure that our partners, such as UFC, deliver the best quality in terms of teaching, as would be expected at UK universities. And we have got some very strict rules in terms of how things are working, and UFC is one of our star partners and doing a fantastic job in terms of teaching our qualifications. And that's very important in the context of UK degrees. I'll come to to more information about why a UK degree is important and what is its value. But first, I think it's to give you more information about how degrees are structured in the UK and what do we mean when we talk about PG degrees. So in the case of PMP, it prepares you for postgraduate. So that's the PG degree. We also have, obviously in the UK, a lot of undergraduate degrees, but for you to access our postgraduate degrees, we would expect that you've already got some undergraduate degree from either Qatar or from other countries. The whole aspect of postgraduate studies leads very often to a master's qualification, and you've got either an MA, a Master's of Arts, or an MSc, which would be a Master's of Science. And then for those of you that think more administration, there would be an MBA. Postgraduate studies are split and in several semesters, usually 3 semesters, all to the value of 60 credits. So that's why you can see the various numbers, the 20. So each module in that case would be a value of 20 credits. And in the context of the diagram there, it would be a master's that is delivered over 3 semesters with 3 modules in the first 2 semesters, and eventually finishing with a dissertation, which is what is expected at master's studies level. Usually you have got 2 semesters of studying modules that will be relevant to the subject that you want to specialize into. And that would lead to a dissertation that would be a project, very often project-led or research-led into a field of your interest. The split of modules and credits may be different depending on which university you apply to, but in this context, it gives you a good idea of what you would be studying. So potentially 3 modules in a matter of 12 weeks in the first semester, followed by another 3 modules and followed by a dissertation. As it is indicated there, there would be a module that would be referring to literature review or some kind of project proposal and also research method to prepare towards the dissertation. That comes usually in the second semester. And that links quite well with the program we're offering with the PMP. As you are aware, and as Andy was saying, we provide a module called research methods, and that would actually provide you this the information that will help you even do a better project proposal and help you very much towards your dissertation. Master's studies or postgraduate studies are extremely condensed. And it is very much, you've got to be ready from day one to actually study hard and research extremely hard as well to make sure that you get the best results as possible for your masters. And my own experience as a lecturer, I have seen many international students coming to my courses when I used to actually teach at master's level. And very, very bright students, but very often what was missing was the understanding of what it meant to study for a British degree, what it meant to actually do study skills, what it meant about writing essays in English. And that didn't mean that the students would actually fail, but they didn't probably achieve as well as they could have achieved because it took them roughly about a semester to get used to studying for a British degree. Now, again, coming back to PMP, another module which is essential is our EAP module that will actually help you improve your English and your level of English and your understanding of English, but also use English in the context of academic studies. So improve your study skills, teach you how to actually research, teach you how to actually write essays, teach you how to reference and look for sources of information, of knowledge that will actually help with building your own knowledge and eventually building your and writing your own dissertation. So the British degree are very much, and the postgraduate degrees are very much split as is described here on this slide. We'll go to the next slide. So why should you study for a British degree? And it's I will answer that as a non-British students when I came to Britain, and again for me it was a case of what would be the difference between a degree that I could get from my home country, France, to getting a British degree, and the answer is it's simply that UK degrees and British degrees, just like US degrees, are very much seen as international degrees and degrees that you can actually carry with you around the world, and they will be available to many different countries and seen as a valuable piece of academic result and achievement. So a UK degree is more than just a degree for the UK, it's an international degree. The UK also has got, and the way we're actually lecturing and teaching in the UK will lead you to actually become more of an independent learner. And I think that in the context of a degree, it's essential. You are studying very much because you want to actually get a better job. You probably want to achieve more in your professional life. And nobody's going to tell you when you get a job how to actually do your job. And very much the idea of a British degree is to actually give you all this teaching of how to actually argue things even with your lecturers and your peers, be able to actually do some research to actually improve your own knowledge, but also maybe improve knowledge of people around you. So you will actually learn how to actually develop critical thinking, how to actually make sure that that critical thinking is being supported by your own research. You will become an independent learner. You will become a very good at self-study. You will take ownership of your own learning and your own knowledge. And it builds a lot of confidence in terms of the individual that you become once you've actually graduated. Degrees in the UK are taught for the majority by people that have got PhDs, are experts in their subject. You will also go to universities where, especially if you're actually studying for maybe something more technical like I did, You will be taught by people from the industry and people that have practiced at a high level within the industry. So usually people that will be lecturing and will be present for your tutorials and your practicals will be subject experts and people that will really help you with developing your knowledge. Once you see all that, and when you're actually able to actually go through all these studies, employers will very often come to universities and come to you with jobs offer. It's the majority of cases, it won't take you more than 3 to 6 months to actually find, I'd say, the perfect employment, and especially after a master's degree. So employers see a British degree as high value and a fantastic achievement by the person who holds a UK degree. So as it's mentioned here in the slide, many universities will actually line up some graduate fairs. So fairs where employees will actually come, describe to students what they do, potentially some project on which they work. And I've experienced that where some of my students used to actually come with their CVs with limited work experience, but still a bit of it. But would very often, after going around the graduate fair for 2 or 3 hours, engage quite intensively with a few professionals, with a few companies, and more often than not end up with a job offer at the end of the fair. The master's degree and the postgraduate will also allow you to actually be a part of a network of other students. So you will be able to actually work with other people. And it's not unusual that a lot of students will also decide to actually set up their own business with the support of university. So there's many different ways you can actually go in terms of developing a professional career following a UK degree. Universities will actually provide you with a lot of support as well in terms of developing your career, helping you with finding the next job. And I guess that finally there's, in terms of coming to study for a UK degree or for a degree in the UK, you will be immersed in British culture. And there are many advantages to it. The weather is probably not one, but there are many excellent things within the UK that does expand one's view of the world and personal achievement and personality. And I'm very much a very different person from the time when I used to actually live and study in France. And that's thanks to being immersed in that British culture. And finally, I think, I think that in the UK, it's, you will be, it'll be one of the main countries in Europe with a lot of history and a lot of culture. Now, many of our students and many students that think about coming to study for a degree in the UK do worry about working opportunities. And there are several things that I will touch on here. First, something that has been now re-established by the UK government is following your studies, you're entitled to actually stay for up to 2 years in the UK. And you can see in other countries it's sometimes a bit longer, but in the UK you can actually stay 2 years after finishing your studies to practice your skills and potentially to also find a job that would actually become permanent. So it is very often that students will actually be able to actually get straight into a job following their postgraduate studies and be able to actually find the job of their dream. They can then decide to either stay in the UK or maybe move on, but usually 2-year work experience following your degree would be excellent on the CV. While studying, you're also entitled to work, and there are two ways of, well, there are 2 options. When you're actually studying full time, you can actually work up to 20 hours per week in the UK. And if you are in the in midterm, or if there are any holidays, or if you're not studying, then you're entitled to actually work full time. Universities, for the majority of them, will actually provide services that will help you find jobs. There will be jobs available through a job board at university. And usually these jobs will actually guarantee a minimum wage, which I think currently in the UK is around £9 per hour, if not more. So there are ways of actually making sure that you can finance your studies while studying, and it will also lead to a good chance of employment following straight from your studies, thanks to the post-study visas. I think that's pretty much that on my side. I believe we're going to move to a Q&A session. And if there are any questions, please ask. Thank you very much.
Andrew, I believe this question is for you. Ms. Sahar is asking if there is any progression route to Cambridge University. We all know that Cambridge University is not among the NCUK network of universities. So is there anything else you want to add on that level?
Yeah, good question. Obviously, the NCUK universities we work with are the ones that we have official agreements in place and our progression opportunities. Every year, students do apply outside of the NCUK University network, but we can't offer any guarantee in terms of that institution accepting the qualification that the student is applying to. So there's not a huge amount more I can add to that, really. Obviously, from an NCUK perspective, we are very proud of the universities we work with. We've got some really, really well-ranked universities. Obviously, Cambridge is extremely well-ranked, but we do still have some great universities which are sort of comfortably in the QS World Top 100. So if the student is particularly interested in that profile of university, then there might be some alternative options. But that's all I can really say on that one, I'm afraid, Nancy.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Do you have any other questions regarding a master's degree in the UK or the master's preparatory program? Okay, I believe this was the only question here. This presentation was really helpful and worth the time you spent here. I'd like to thank the attendees, and for those who didn't get the chance to attend, as I said before, this webinar is going to be available on our social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and then email or the video link will be sent to all those who registered for this webinar and couldn't make it here. I'd like to thank you, Nico and Andrew. It was really helpful, amazing. Hopefully we'll have a few more webinars in the next few months. Do you have anything to add?
No, just that I'd encourage anybody interested in finding out sort of their next steps in their academic career, whether it's with NCUK or not, just get in touch and we can have a chat and hopefully provide some guidance either way. So thank you. And
yeah, absolutely. We at University Foundation College will be more than happy to assist anyone who's interested in a postgraduate degree in the UK, especially at one of the NCUK universities. So we can offer all the information, the support needed to see if they need a pre-masters. And it's very important to highlight that not all applicants need a pre-masters program. They can just go straight to the university. So we just need to review and assess their profiles with NCUK. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening and see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye.